back to another video on the Next Man Up podcast. Today's going to be me and Max. We're going to be doing a 2024 NFL mock draft, as you can see by the title. Before we get into it, make sure you guys follow us on our social medias up at the top. And if you can, subscribe to the video and like it and share it as well. We just hit 400 subscribers. We're actually over 400 subscribers now, so thank you guys for that. It's been a long time coming. We're trying to continue to grow. So right now, we're just on the road to 500. If you could subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. So this is going to be after the Super Bowl edition. The Super Bowl was just a few days ago. So all the teams are set now, so we can really just do a full first-round mock draft. This is going to be our full first-round mock draft of the entire draft season. So give us some patience, and stuff like that. We're going to do our best of our ability. We watch a lot of these prospects. We're going to go a lot by team need as well. This draft is really, I believe, it has a lot of wide receivers. It has a lot of cornerbacks. I think that's the two strongest positions in this entire draft class. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what we do.
I don't know. Like, it might be because we have been following this a lot. Like, college football has obviously been huge and everything. There's like a lot of guys in this draft. Like, you have Drake and Caleb. You have a lot of good receiver talent. The O-line talent's very good. The defensive side of the ball, maybe like the D-line is the one thing that's lacking, right? You don't have a lockdown linebacker. There's no Micah Parsons in this draft. I think you have a lot of the DNs kind of falling off a little bit as far as like how high they can go in the draft. Offensive talent, though, I think is at an all-time high right now with Brock Bowers. You have the O-line talent. You have the two great quarterbacks. You have a lot of depth at receiver. Keon Coleman, I know, fell off, but I think Malik Neighbors is kind of like slid back up there. Like, there's a lot of talent in this draft.
All right, so Max is going to have the first overall pick just because he's a Bears fan and they have 2 picks in the first 9, so he'll hopefully be able to draft both of the Bears picks. So we're going to go ahead and start the draft off with Max. You know what to do, man, as far as the name of the picks. But we're going to do a 2024 NFL mock draft.
I'll just get it started easy with the first overall pick. The Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams. Not much to be said anymore. Obviously, with how the season ended and what it looks like now, I know there's still a lot of turmoil between Bears fans about what we should do. I think it makes sense, especially, Latif, you can say it's a lie. It might be a lie. But with the package offers that I've heard for Justin Fields, if you can somehow get a first pick for Justin Fields, or a first rounder for Justin Fields, I'll take that every day. Give me another first rounder. Give me another first rounder. Give me another first rounder.
Be serious.
I will support Justin Fields till the last day of his career. I will always love Justin Fields. It just didn't work out in Chicago. And to be honest, it's not his fault. He has the talent. Chicago just has a very hard time developing talent. I'm not guaranteeing Caleb's going to become a star, but I think with the money now and I think with the play, like, I think it makes more sense. I won't be that mad if we go with Marv. It just looks like we're going Caleb now. So I'm just going to support whatever decision it is. But, yeah, not much to be said. I think it honestly would be more surprising now if the Bears went Marv. All signs are pointing to Caleb.
It's still some Bears fans fighting. All on Twitter and Instagram. They still fighting against Caleb Williams.
I have friends who are fighting.
Because these same people will recognize it'll take a historic package to move this man. Also are the same people that want to trade him. Also are the same people that continue to trash him, say bad things about him. Like, if he's worth this historic package, don't you think that's a reason why? It's a reason why he's worth this amount. Why not just draft the person instead of giving it to another team? Like, that just makes no sense to me. Like, is he worth all of this? Just take him. Like,
because
that shows how high his potential is.
But
like,
you see the potential of Justin Fields.
It's nowhere near close.
I'm just saying, like, if you can capitalize on that generational talent and get an insane haul in return and set yourself up for the next 5 years, like, it makes sense because it's not a guaranteed home run pick.
We have
a tough time developing quarterbacks, though. We have a tough time. Like, you can see that, right? So if we mess this up and we stink with Caleb Williams and we get nothing in return,
first of all, I want to say they have a lot of draft assets. They have a lot of cap space without trading Caleb Williams. They can still build a great team without trading Caleb Williams. They're also going to get a good pick, like a second round, third round pick for Justin Fields. That's one. 2, I already told you in a later, like, older episode video, y'all got to stop thinking about the mindset of older regimes and older players and all that stuff. Other picks. This is Caleb Williams. He's one of few. So it's like that's not the same thing. That's one. Something else you said I wanted to respond to.
I said trade.
Oh, you said
Justin Fields?
He's not a for sure private pick. The risk of Justin Fields being this franchise quarterback is greater than I feel like drafting Caleb Williams because one, he's on, like you said, you have to pay him in a year. You have to pay him in a year. So if he does not work out this season, then you took the risk of him not being a guy, and then you just pass up on that generational challenge. I feel like the risk is higher, especially since we've been through 3 or 4 seasons with him. And yes, the situation has been great, but he also just hasn't improved as a player. And it's simple stuff like missing reads like that, which has nothing to do with play calling because the play is open. You just couldn't hit it. Footwork's still bad. He holds the ball too long. It's a lot of situations. It's like it's just
I understand. I've drank the Kool-Aid now. Like I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like if Caleb's on the team, like that's got like I'm right. Like I'm a Bears fan, right? I'm going to support whatever decision they make because I honestly do think I could see both ways working out. But if you had me choose, I would probably pick Caleb at this point in time. I agree. Like the reads, like watching Bears games and seeing the progressions, right? Especially when like you see the play like from this side, okay, fine. But when they switch the camera angles and you can see the field and you see what progressions you should be looking through, and like you see a guy open here, like this guy's closed off, it just like it does make you nervous. Like, why would you throw that ball? You know what I mean? Like it is like definitely some question marks still. So I hope he goes out and develops him wherever. If it's Pittsburgh, if it's Atlanta, I will be #1 Justin Fields supporter. But I just don't think the marriage with him and the Bears is going to work out.
I also think he could work in Atlanta too as well. Pittsburgh, I don't know.
I think Atlanta would be amazing. I think like that would honestly be like that could be a scary team if development goes right. Pittsburgh just needs an O-line. Pittsburgh needs an O-line really badly.
All right, so let's move on to the second round. Let's move on to the second overall pick with the Commanders. This is an easy selection for me as well. They need quarterback. So with the second overall pick, the Commanders select Drake May. I think he is a lot closer to Caleb than what people think. He has a huge arm, a lot of arm talent. He led North Carolina in rushing his redshirt freshman year. That's how good of an athlete he is. He's not a special athlete, but he's a great athlete. He has comparisons to Josh Allen and Justin Herbert for a reason. He's that type of talent. I think he's kind of being like underrated a little bit as a prospect. He's a great prospect. He's not generational, which Herbert and Josh Allen weren't generational. But if you can develop him correctly in that offense, then he can be a very, very good quarterback. I don't think he's going to come out the jump and have success like a Herbert just because I don't like the situation. And I don't know who their offensive coordinator is really. I know they hired Dan Quinn. I would love them. If they would have got like Ben Johnson, I would have been way more excited about Drake May. But I am a Drake May stan. If he does,
you don't want Cliff?
They got Cliff.
Yeah, you don't Cliff Kingsbury?
I don't. Has Air Raid worked yet in the NFL? Like I don't.
I think for that one season in Arizona, I think it was good.
Has Air Raid worked for rookie quarterbacks yet? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, especially rookie quarterbacks. But Cliff is a great offensive mind. He's good with quarterbacks. So I forgot they hired Cliff. I blinked on the name.
I was so confused. I was so confused with the whole like why he didn't go to Vegas. But I agree. I think Ben Johnson would be better. Yeah, I like Ben Johnson better as a play caller. Cliff is like, I don't know. There's a reason I feel like Cliff hasn't worked out in some spots, but
yeah, but he's had a great relationships with quarterbacks throughout his whole entire history. So that shows some cause for optimism. But wherever Drake may go, I will be going next season. So
except say it out loud. Say it out loud.
Except the Patriots. I'm not going to the Patriots. You know, that'd be diabolical. You know.
Yeah, good. It's a good pick. I like Drake May a lot. There's like I see mock drafts where Jaden Daniels is going to. I don't get it. I think Drake May is a lot more higher potential, more polished. I think he's that guy right now. So going to the third pick, though. Are we good? Can I go to my third pick?
Yep.
This is weird to me. I could so easily see the Patriots, and I know it's not Bill Belichick now, so it's a different regime. Got to think differently. I could see the Patriots just going O-line, but they can't. They need a quarterback. So with the third overall pick, I have the New England Patriots selecting Jaden Daniels.
That's interesting. I didn't think you were going to do that.
Quarterback.
I don't think he's worthy of the third overall pick. I don't think he's at a level of talent, but I mean, I guess the Patriots are QB need. They really are. You could justify taking Marvin Harrison and then waiting next year to like a Clint Ewers. That would be.
Stop, because I believe I said this during our last mock draft, and you said that was a bad idea. You said that was a bad idea. We can go back to it. Because you said if it's on throwing the ball. I said that last time, and you said that's a bad idea. So
opinions can change. Opinions can change from that was like almost That was almost like a month ago. Also,
Yeah, it's like a month ago.
that video did really well. I appreciate you guys for showing love. Got a lot of subscribers off that. It's almost at 1,000 views right now. If this one could do that great, I would love to see it. That really warm my
I
heart.
think
But
I could see Marv. I get where it's coming from. The O line I think makes like I could just see that's a Patriot thing to do.
mhm.
Like all this hype to draft a big name, right? You draft a Heisman, draft Marvin Harrison, and you still go O line. I think it's like I don't know. I don't know if it's like a Mac Jones thing where you just keep trying until it works. I think they have some money. You can sign O linemen. Um, I don't know who's playing quarterback next year if you don't draft one. If they don't draft one in the later rounds, you can't go back to back to the drawing board with Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi. Like it's just not possible unless you are literally tanking to get. And again, you say Quinn Ewers. I don't think anyone's thinking that next year's quarterback class is like this amazing thing, right? Like it's not. There's not a lot of love for next year's quarterback class so far. They could obviously rise up, but right now it's not a lot of love.
I
So
agree.
you're tanking on the contingent of what? Like,
I think Quinn Ewers is probably the same level of prospect as Jaden Daniels, honestly.
Where's Shador gonna go? Do you think
He would
Shador
be.
could raise his draft stock?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. They
Like,
got a new OC. They got a new OC at
like
Colorado. I like Shador.
I'm trying to think of like who's gonna be the number one pick, and if it's defense, like if it is Travis Hunter, you don't need that. They do not need another like corner. They don't need more defense. You need offensive pieces, and I think you got to get a quarterback to understand that a little bit. So I think like first year OC, I don't know, like draft a rookie quarterback, try and mold him to your system. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's the best idea you have right now. I guess Marv will probably be two. The least like splash, like the thing that's going to cause the least amount of like a ripple effect would be getting an O lineman and you just regroup for next year. But I really don't think you can roll out this year with Bailey Zappi or Mac Jones. Granted, what happened last year.
That would cause insane. I believe like that would be surprising for anybody.
I'm saying more like it won't affect your future drafts. If you just get an O lineman, it's not going to affect much, right? You could still go out and get a receiver next year. You could go get a quarterback next year. Like it's not going to change that much.
All right. So you took Marvin Harrison with the 3rd overall pick. So
I did
it's
not.
really.
I took Jaden Daniels.
You did Jaden Daniels. I mean, okay. So with the 4th overall pick, the Cardinals select Marvin Harrison Jr. They get Kyler Murray. They're a generational wide receiver prospect. His number one option, his number one weapon, which they've lacked since DeAndre Hopkins has left, pairing with Hollywood Brown. And their offense is really not that bad. James Conner had a nice season. They just need to repair the offensive line and work on that defense. And then you're well on your way to competing. And was it the NFC NFC West? Yeah,
West.
So you had those two cornerstones with Kyle Murray and Marvin Harrison, and then you try to build a team around that. The rebuild has been pretty well, I believe. They competed in a lot of games last year. Gannon, surprisingly, has been a great head coach. I did not expect that coming from Philly, but because he got slandered for what he did in the Super Bowl and all that stuff. So it's worked out pretty well. So
we forget how good Kyler Murray really is sometimes.
I don't
with the injuries, with everything. I love Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, I got his jersey. Great player. Like coming out of Oklahoma, his size, obviously, like everyone I think has doubted him. For the concerns with D-Hop, even when they had that one really good season, right? There were still concerns like can he play? Can he play in the playoffs? Like can he actually make these big time throws? And I think ever since this year, like seeing the mediocrity of some quarterback play, like having a guy like Kyler Murray who's shown he can go out there and be a guy, is huge. And I think getting him a number one weapon. You saw what he did with D-Hop. Like D-Hop had some of his best. Like D-Hop was very, very good out there. Kyler Murray was able to support that number one receiver. I think Marv is fantasy-wise, Marv's like a first-rounder easy. That's a match made in heaven. I want so bad for like Brock Bowers to get like picked here so Marv can pair up with Justin Herbert. If Marv pairs up with Justin Herbert, that would be one of the best picks at least I've ever seen. That was amazing. So
yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I would love that. Yeah, he's not falling past 4. Either Chicago, the only team that's not taking him is Commanders. But with the 5th overall pick, the San Diego, yikes. With the 5th overall pick, the Los Angeles Chargers select Brock Bowers. You're looking at the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, they have big holes on defense, but I don't think there's a home run defensive pick right now. you've gotten receivers. You have Mike Williams, obviously Keenan Allen. One of those guys getting cut this year. Quentin Johnson did not show you that much this year. There are a lot of question marks on the offensive side of the ball as far as weapons. The one thing Justin Herbert's never really had is a tight end. You always play with Donald Parham or Gerald Everett, who are serviceable, but they're not X factors. And I think you get Brock Bowers, who can definitely be an X factor at the tight end position. Travis Kelce, as far as just having a positional advantage over every other team. I think, especially with Jim Harbaugh's offense, if you can get more explosive pieces, you're going to cut one receiver. You're going to hopefully sign people. They're so far down in the cap, but there are ways to work around that and get yourself back up in the plus money. You know what I'm saying? There are ways for them to cut players. Khalil Mack, you could cut Eckler, you could cut Mike Williams, and you can get yourself back up over the cap.
They're gonna cut Mike Williams.
Khalil Mack is not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee at all.
He's getting cut.
It's not a guarantee at all. He's
gonna be cut. I think
I've seen more things on Twitter about Joey Bosa leaving than Khalil Mack getting cut.
So Khalil Mack is still pretty good. I think Joey Bosa is just injury prone.
I'll be very interested to see what they do. But obviously there are big holes on that defense side of the ball you need to fix. But I do think Brock Bowers and Justin Herbert could be a very good duel.
Yeah, getting a generational weapon at the tight end position is great, but I mean, I don't hate the pick. I think I've selected Brock Bowers in a few mock drafts here.
You what?
I've selected Brock Bowers here a few times in mock drafts, but it's like the defense is just.
Where are you going though? You taking the first defensive player off the board? I'm not. Are you going Cooper DeJean right now?
No. Cooper DeJean is not my number one corner, but we'll get to that if I had to pick.
Oh yeah, I know who your number one is. Never mind. You talked about him.
No, it's not even him anymore. It kind of changed.
It's not Wiggins anymore.
No, Wiggins was my number one corner. It was Kool-Aid was my number one corner.
I thought Wiggins was your number one for a while.
All right, so with the Giants are the 6th pick, and they need a few things. They need O-line, quarterback, but it's not really one
pick. There's one pick here.
So, with the 6th overall pick, the New York Giants select Malik Neighbors. That's who I'm taking here, wide receiver. Need to get Daniel Jones a legitimate weapon, honestly. The offensive line is pretty bad, I will admit, but they definitely need a weapon. So, I would take Malik Neighbors with the 6th overall pick.
I didn't expect that. I thought you would definitely go Rome. I thought you were going Rome. You have Malik Neighbors ranked higher than Rome?
I do.
Okay. As a Bears fan, I like this. I like the potential of maybe getting Rome. So, I think receiver is the one position they desperately need.
Actually, let me re-say that. I think I said it too fast. With the 6th overall pick, the New York Giants select Malik Neighbors. I didn't pronounce his name right the first time. I got to work on that. But yeah. He's my wide receiver. He's my wide receiver too. His ability to create separation is great. I think Rome is better at high punting the ball. But I think in a Daniel Jones led offense, you probably need somebody that's gonna be able to create separation, just get wide open. His yard after the catch ability is really, really special. He's strong. I like numbers.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna be a Daniel Jones led offense for that much longer. They gotta move on. They gotta move on. They gotta realize that contract was terrible and move on. I like the pick. I think receivers much needed. So, with the 7th overall pick, I have the Tennessee Titans selecting Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. O-line, I think, is the biggest issue. Every mock draft you see, you have them taking O-line. Even if a guy like Derrick Henry is gone, you just drafted Will Levis, who showed some signs to be your quarterback for this season. With D-Hop, he had a pretty good pairing with him. You want to protect your quarterback. Whoever that is, but I don't think they're in the market to get a quarterback. I think you give Will Levis another season, see what he does. You still do have D-Hop, I think, for another year. They could go receiver here for sure. They do need some stuff at receiver. Treylon Burks, D-Hop. Am I forgetting anyone on their team?
Westbrook, that Westbrook dude.
D.D. Westbrook?
I don't think his name is D.D.
I don't know.
It's one of them.
Anyways, but I do think O-line. I think O-line's a big place in need, and I think Joe Alt is a top 5 talent, and you're getting him at 7. So
I agree. I had him taking wide receiver here, like literally last night, but then I was talking to somebody about it, and they convinced me that O-line is their biggest need because it's terrible. And the weapons aren't great, but again, you can probably get a wide receiver in the second, third round. This is a deep wide receiver draft, so
Yeah, for sure.
you can swing up on somebody and then getting Joe Alt who can really solidify that tackle spot. It's like if he is as great as people say he is, then you know one spot can really like sure up O line like or make it a lot better. So I like the pick. Okay, with Atlanta Falcons, I already know what I'm doing. With the 8th overall pick, the Atlanta Falcons are going to select Dallas Turner. He's my number one edge off the board from Alabama. I watched him since he's been in college. He's great. He's physical. He's strong. He can get to the passer. He can stop the run. He has a decent amount of good moves as well in his package. So I like Dallas Turner a lot. I went between him and Latu. So I'm leaning right now before like the combine and stuff. I'm leaning Dallas Turner.
It's a weird team for me. Like, I think they have a good defense. They have a great O line. Your secondary is pretty solid. I'd stay away from secondary and O line. You have weapons. You have a running back. You have a tight end. You have a receiver. I could see them going another receiver to pair up
I don't
alongside
think
Drake
that
London.
was
I'm not saying they're going to. I could see that happening though. Your biggest need is quarterback. So I think in a perfect world they could somehow trade up and get a quarterback, but that's probably not going to happen. So I'm like really unfamiliar with their front seven, but I do know their secondary has been solid. So I thought you were going to go Rome for a second there. You scared me.
Nah, I don't think any receiver in the first round. They already have Bijan, who's a good receiving threat. They have Drake London, who's a good receiving threat. Kyle Pitts just
I
needs the
understand.
ball. They have
But yeah,
weapons.
you can get two receivers. You pair up Drake with someone else. So with the 9th pick, I am looking heavily at obviously between receiver and tackle. I would love to finalize our O line and get one more tackle, especially with what Fuaga did in the Senior Bowl. He looked good. He looked very good in the Senior Bowl. And Olu still is generational talent, very good. But with the 9th overall pick, the Chicago Bears select Rome Odunze. I think it has to happen. I think we've been in this market for a receiver for a long time now, especially if we lose Darnell Mooney in free agency. You pair DJ Moore up with Rome, get Rome and Caleb on the same team. They obviously know each other well, both Pac-12 guys. I think it makes sense. I think if it's Malik, it's the same thing. I think whichever one falls, if both fall, I think we'll go for it. I think if both are off the board, I don't think we take a shot at a receiver. I could see us trading down. I could see us getting an edge, or I could see us going online. But if both receivers or one of the receivers are on the board, I'll go with one. Thoughts?
I think it's a good pick. Rome is some people wide receiver twos. His ability, his hands are amazing. Like they're amazing. His ability to high point the ball. He has speed as well. I think he's gonna be a red zone target, but I think you can use him in so many ways. A lot of Washington stuff was just our receivers are better than yours. Go get the ball, and it worked for them. He's a big part of why Washington was like the third ring passing offense in the entire college football landscape, or third ring offense in the entire football landscape. So I like the pick. They get a pretty good wide receiver. But yeah, DJ Moore is kind of like that yards at the catch, route running guy, and he can create space and get open. And then you have that go ball threat, deep threat with Rome, who can hide the point the ball and be a weapon in the red zone. So for whoever they get, well, Caleb Williams at this point is going to be a good pick. With number 10, I think, this is number 10. This is pretty easy, pretty clear cut for me. We know what the Jets need. With the 10th overall pick, the New York Jets select Olu Fashanu. Pretty easy, pretty clearly, they need a tackle. This offensive line is god awful. And if they can make this a lot better, I think they're Super Bowl contenders because they definitely have they need a wide receiver too. They can probably get that with a later pick and hopefully develop him. Defense is set. It's really just the offensive line and the wide receiver 2 option. So if they can get a little bit healthier in the offensive line and then draft Olu and he's great in his rookie season, then this team could be contenders in my eyes. I think Aaron Rodgers is that good, even coming off a ACL injury, Achilles injury, whatever he had. He still hasn't really dropped off to me. And he has familiarity with his offense for over a year now. So I think this continue to be contenders as long as they can share up the offensive line and get a wide receiver too.
I'm just trying to make sure I'm picking my right guy. Yeah, I got the Vikings at 11, right?
Yes, you do.
So Vikings at 11. I think again, this team probably would want a quarterback. They don't want to be contingent on what Kirk Cousins does in the offseason. Their O-line was coming into the season scary, but played very well this year. They actually had a good O-line this year. And their defense was the same thing. Looked very scary, but Brian Flores actually put a competent unit together. But I still think I'd go to the defensive side of the ball. There's two guys in my head that I'm looking at right now as far as a corner to take. I will go corner over edge, I think. They're the 24th ranked pass defense from Fox Sports. They gave up about, what was it? Yeah, 234 yards a game. Not ideal, obviously, especially in a offense or especially in a conference or division where you have up and coming Jordan Love, you have the pass attack and the run attack of the Lions, and you have Caleb Williams coming in. I think you want to beef up that secondary a little bit, or you get a pass rusher to try and go after those guys. I guess I don't know. I'm between. I like one guy who kind of hooped at the Senior Bowl, and I don't know. I think I could see them definitely going. Who'd you go last pick? I'm in my PFF one. You went Olu or Fuaga?
Olu.
So I'm looking at. I'm looking at Cooper DeJean. I'm looking at Quinyon Mitchell, and I'm looking at an edge.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Quinyon this high. I have two quarterbacks over here. Actually, three.
I liked him in the Senior Bowl. He played well. All right, I'll just go with him. He honestly, I feel like he'd work. With the 11th overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, he definitely work, and he can. I think a lot of people are predicting that he'll be switched to safety, and I don't know how long they're gonna hold on to Harrison Smith. So if he has the versatility, it's because he's white. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think
like every corner gets thrown at safety.
He's definitely can play corner in the NFL. He is very athletic. Watching some of his tape, bro, he was literally running routes for receivers. Like he's super athletic. His interceptions were crazy. He's also probably the best run stopping corner in his draft. One of the best tacklers in his draft.
He was a punt returner too.
Yeah, he's
Iowa.
super athletic. He's super athletic.
He beat us off a punt return touchdown. He won the game off a punt return touchdown. Like he was insane that kick. So like if he does, that'd be kind of sick if you do that in the NFL. I don't think cornerbacks really do that anymore. So I'd love to see Cooper DeJean also receiving punts, but.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean is a great athlete. So, people are going to I think play basketball too. I think I saw highlights of him like dunking on in basketball.
I didn't see that.
I think I saw highlights of him playing basketball. I was watching a TikTok on it. I don't know. I was watching a TikTok on it, and he was dunking in the game, bro. It was crazy. Like he was going crazy. So this man is a great athlete, multiple sport athlete. So for him, people would want him to move to, corner. It's the racial bias. We haven't really seen it. Safety. We haven't really seen a white corner be good in a
long time.
A very long time. So I think he's gonna divide the eyes, and shout out to him, man, because we do talk about like a lot of race roles and positions, like that and stuff like that. But it can't go both ways, even though it's not as prominent on the white side of things. But it can't go both ways. So shout out to him.
It's the first time. Isn't it like the first time there's been that? I mean, I assume he'll start week 1. Isn't it like the first time there's been a white corner starting since like 2008?
Yeah, it's been a long time. A long time. All right, so we had 12 with the Broncos. I think I know I want to take edge here. They need a QB. Honestly, I think Russell Wilson is obviously not the answer. I don't know if he's going to be on the team much longer. The wide receiver situation is not the greatest. Jared Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton had some bright spots last year, but I was thinking going to even Davis interior or edge. I'm going to go edge. So with the 12th overall pick, the Broncos are going to select Jared Verse from Florida State. He was going to be a top 5 almost. They thought he was going to be like a top 5 pick coming into the draft. His production did not live up to that. Towards the later end of the season, a lot of stuff at Florida State just went array. Even with like Keon Coleman, his production and stuff like that. So I still think he's a very good edge rusher. And I think that's what they need to address the most here. Don't really get to the basket a lot. So if they're going to build a team around defense, which I think they should, I saw people was having them trade PS2 and stuff like that. But I think they should just build like a great defense, and then maybe stick it out with Russ a few more years, a year or two, and see what happens. But actually, no, I think it's better if they cut him now or something like that. The cap hit is lower, but I think they should just build a great defense, build a great team, and then draft the quarterback in a few years or so, a year or two. So I'll take Jared Verse there.
I got 13. Shoot, what happened? That's not what I wanted.
I think I got
lower back. So. Huh?
I think I know who I'll take here too.
I'm not sold at all because this team stinks. This team is so bad.
They're terrible.
Like this team has so many holes. There's not a one pick for this team. This team's terrible. So I don't know. You obviously have Patrick Mahomes in your division, so you want to get a pass rusher, but you need a DB. They need a quarterback. You need to help that O-line. Like there are so many points of need for this team. I think you just got to go best available with your board. Use my verse. Like Fuaga's there, but you have no quarterback to protect. You could go corner, you could go Latu, you could go Newton. Like they literally could use any of these top positions. And I don't think it'd be crazy at all. So
I think they have Max Crosby is like that's good enough for the edge. Honestly, he is that great. Like he is that great. Well, he literally.
Yeah, but I think you could go interior D line. You can go Newton for sure.
Yeah, you can go interior D line. I thought you
know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, but like, would drafting edge be bad? You literally need anything. And you could have a guy like Latu develop with Max Crosby. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like I guess I'm between two. So with my pick, with the 13th overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders are going to select Jerzon Newton. I'll go with him. I think you have to get after the quarterback, especially with hopefully a revamped Chargers offense. You just had the Super Bowl winners in your team. You need guys to get after the quarterback. You already have Max Crosby, who is an elite pass rusher. You get Jerzon Newton in the interior. I think there's so many holes in this team. The only good part about this team is literally Max Crosby and Devontae Adams. It's scary in Vegas. You need a quarterback. You need O-line. I was going to go Fuaga. I don't think it's a bad pick there. But, it's literally just whoever's on their board, they'll just rank all their prospects, and whoever is the highest on their board, they'll just go with. Position of need is everywhere. So, I don't even think it matters.
I already know what I want to do with this pick, honestly. So, I think the Saints need tackle. So, what is it, 14th? With the 14th overall pick, the New Orleans Saints take Talise Fuaga. I hope I didn't butcher his name. That sounded good enough to me. My bad if I butcher your name. Talise Fuaga. That's kind of hard name to pronounce.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I think, especially in his Senior Bowl production, he turned a lot of heads. A lot of guys, I think, his stock went up for sure. At 14, I'm looking. Hold on, I take this off. I think receiver is 15. Yeah, sorry, 15. I think receiver is a big position in need, for sure. But I don't think you're going to take a shot at anyone right now. I think you trade down. I think you're in a weird position where you don't take anyone. It's not like it's a reach, but I don't think you take someone right now. A lot of these mocks have them going DB, especially in the division right now where you have CJ Stroud, you have Trevor Lawrence. DB is not bad. And especially if all of your offensive lineman talents, besides JC Latham, off the table, but their O-line played better this year. So I will probably go cornerback. And with cornerback, with the 15th overall pick, the Indianapolis Colts select Terrion Arnold.
It's a good pick.
I'll go over Wiggins. I think, to be honest, a couple of these mocks actually have him going there. Terrion getting mocked there. So I think you need to beef up that defense. But I think the biggest point of need would be helping out AR. I just don't think right now is the position to take a receiver. So trade down maybe, but
Okay. The Seattle at 16. They actually drafted Will last year. Got Devin Witherspoon. Got Jackson Smith and Jigba. So they don't need wide receiver. They don't need corner. I think they go edge here.
I was just say there's one player I like here.
I'll go edge. So with the 16th overall pick, the Seahawks select Latu from UCLA. He's a beast, man. He's a beast. I think he was edge one for a lot of the draft cycle. But I think he slipped down. I think Jared Verse and I think Dallas Turner physically a little bit more physically opposing. I like Latu's moves though, like his array of moves that he has in the defensive line. I think they're great. So it might be a great value pick here for the Seattle Seahawks.
That's good because I have my next pick with Jacksonville. That made my decision a lot easier. With the 17th overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Nate Wiggins. They keep going with Clemson products. You got T-Law, obviously. You got ETN. They're going to go with Wiggins again. Their pass defense was bad, especially, again, in a division with C.J. Stroud and what he's been able to do. You need DBs. So I think they go with Wiggins here.
I like the pick. They can also go edge or a few other.
But who's the edge? Who's the edge you're going for right now?
The offensive line is also not really that great either, I would say.
So if you're going J.C. Latham, but everything else, like as far as draft boards are, you got quarterbacks, other DBs, receivers. Like there's not a whole lot of, especially edge products. I guess by the D tackle position, but like I think getting a DB is important.
All right, so I know what I'm doing here as well. I think the Bengals need tackle for sure.
Hello?
You can hear me?
Yeah, you cut out there for a second. Sorry.
My bad. Okay, so with the 18th overall pick, the Cincinnati Bengals select J.C. Latham. One of the best tackles in this draft class, and I think the Bengals definitely need to shore up that O-line for sure. So I think this is the best pick. They also go tight end. I think defense and interior was one of their needs as well. But I think to protect Joe Burrow, especially after he just got hurt again, not saying it's because of the O-line, but you just want to offer that safety net for Joe Burrow. He hasn't had a great O-line since he's got into in the league, and having him with time is deadly. Like he's one of the most accurate passers in the NFL, one of the biggest arms. So I want to get him time, and so I go J.C. Latham right there.
The Rams are a weird team. The Rams really overperformed what they did this year. No one expected them to be in this position, but they were. So the Rams are a little weird to me. To be honest, I think you kind of look quarterback here. I don't know how many more years Stafford has. I just wouldn't go Bo Nix right now at 19. You don't need receiver. I think I'd go DB again. Unless something crazy. Give me one sec. Yeah, screw it. I'll go with it. With the 19th overall pick, the LA Rams select Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. I think you go DB. Their defense, I think, was run by their front seven. Overperformed what people thought it was going to be. Still 20th in pass defense, though. So not great, especially in a division with the 49ers. You got to figure out a way to stop it. But I think, I think it's like the Colts, where it's like what you want to take, you just don't want to take a stab at it. I think you want to go quarterback. You want to have someone develop behind Matt Stafford. But I just don't think you take Bo Nix or Michael Penix right now. So,
yeah, I don't think you go quarterback.
Or JJ.
JJ who? McCarthy?
Some of these mocks are insane, having him going like 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Bo Nix is a first rounder. He wouldn't go in this draft all for me.
I think he might go first round. Not by me, but like I'm saying, he might go first round.
All right. Pittsburgh is on the board. I feel like they need linebacker really bad, but I don't think there's a first round linebacker in here.
They also need something else really. They need something else really bad.
They need defensive back really bad. They got Patrick Peterson is their he was one of their best corners, and they got JPJ, who was pretty good, but he's getting old. I want to shore up this defensive back tandem with JPJ and this pick I'm about to take. They always need offensive line, of course, duh. But center right here, I don't know. So with this number, this is pick 20, right?
Pick 20.
All right. With the 20th overall pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to take Kool-Aid McKinstry. He was my QB1 for a lot of the season. He is physical. He's big. He's long. I think he's a great corner. I think this is great value for him. I'm getting him this late, not having to move up at all. So Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's been one of the best corners in the world for a long time. He was just coming out of high school. Also, this CB 1 through 4 is really close. It's a very, very good cornerback draft. So that's what I'm taking with number 20.
The Dolphins are weird. I think I know what I'm gonna go with. Just making sure. Nothing's loading. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, because they're gonna lose. Yeah. So, looking at the Dolphins, I think your biggest hole, to be honest, is still your quarterback position. You're not going to move anywhere with Tua at this position. You're good on the running back room. You're good on the receiving room. You're good on the defensive back room, in my opinion, besides injuries. I think when you're looking at the linebacking core, and I'm looking at the O-line. And as far as the O-line, you have a lot of guys who are free agents this year. I keep seeing Connor Williams get sent everywhere, right? Like everyone's trying to go sign him or whatever. So it makes me want to think you want to replace the center position. It's just weird to draft a center, I think. So I'm looking at Jackson Powers-Johnson and Amarius Mims. And I'll go with the center. With the 21st pick in the 2024 NFL mock draft. With the 21st pick, the Miami Dolphins select Jackson Powers-Johnson. I'm not going to replace Connor Williams. No, you're good. You're good. I was just saying I'll have him replace Connor Williams if he leaves in free agency. I don't think they're going to pay him what other teams will.
I think that's a great pick from Oregon for sure. Had one of the best offensive lines in the entire country. That gave Bo Nix a lot of time. All right. We are on the Philadelphia Eagles. I know they need linebacker really badly. You saw that. Darius Leonard, they had to trade for Darius Leonard. He is cooked. Linebackers are bad all season. Also need probably another defensive back. So that's what I'm going to be selecting here. So they a lot of the top four are already gone, but they still have a decent option. Decent options, honestly, in the second round or in this first round. Kamari Lattiser from Georgia. I'm going to go right here. With this pick for the Eagles, with what is this 22? With the 22nd, yeah, with the 22nd overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to select Ennis Rakestraw Jr. My bad, I said his name wrong, but they take him from Missouri. He played pretty well this season. They had a pretty decent pass. Like defense obviously wasn't great. But I don't know if necessarily because they're secondary, and definitely not because of him. So I like what Missouri's building there. They're going to continue to get better. They were the surprise team of the college football season this year. So I take fit right there. They definitely need a corner really, really bad. I think they're good at wide receiver, and they're good at a lot of other places on defense. Hassan Reddick definitely just they just told him he can go ask for a trade for sure.
Wait, who asked for a trade?
No, they told Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick. Yep. Yeah. Crazy that didn't work out. I'm sorry. That was like a weird one to me. I thought
they got him for cheap. They got him for super cheap. He wants to get paid, and they're not going to pay him. So,
again, I'm looking at the trenches right now for 23. I think a lot of the framework that what Houston's laid as far as the you have Derek Stingley, you have Will Anderson, you have CJ Stroud, and you have whatever you want to give Nico. You have like a piece everywhere. I think except the O-line, you do have what's his name? Who's the guy they got from the Dolphins a long time ago? I can't even think of his name.
Larry
He's an
Tunsil.
all-pro. Larry Tunsil.
Larry
Yeah.
Tunsil,
So
yeah.
that leads me to want to go with a D tackle. I think if you pair up a D tackle with Will Anderson, you could definitely blow everything up. I think with AR, especially in that run, his running style, I think if you can get someone who can get after the quarterback, it's huge. So with the 23rd overall pick, I had the Houston Texans selecting Byron Murphy II out of Texas.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, he's defense and interior, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's a little high right here. I ain't gonna lie. I think I give some thought to wide receiver, honestly.
Are you gonna go with Thomas
My series
or
app.
Adani? You know what I'm saying? Who are you gonna go with? I would rather sign someone in free agency. Give me T. Higgins.
I'm not gonna lie. If I get the Chiefs pick, even if it's not my pick, I'm taking them. I'm not gonna lie.
Who?
I think I should get the Chiefs pick. Honestly, you got the Bears.
Well,
Let me get the Chiefs.
It's 32. It's 32. And by the way, you said you weren't a Chiefs fan. So
I'm not a Chiefs fan.
Let's calm down there.
I'm not a Chiefs
But
fan
yeah,
at all.
you have 30. You have 32. You have 32.
I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I'm give my boy Patrick some help if he's still on the board.
No. Draft him. That's what you need.
I'm cool. But anyways, who did you say? Byron Murphy, second.
Mm-hmm.
We got 24 with the Dallas Cowboys. Interesting position right here. I don't really see like a lot of stuff of need for them. Honestly,
Call me crazy. Is it bad to take a receiver?
No, it wouldn't be.
I think a receiver is like the one thing right here where I'm like, I will go receiver, and I think you're late enough to where you could take a shot on someone.
I don't know. They only have really like CD, and then they have Brandon Cooks, who's kind of like fell off.
How long is he gonna be good for? You got Jake Ferguson. I take another select another receiver and see what you got.
That's not a bad idea, honestly. This is one of those picks where I'm not entirely sure who I was going to take. There's some tackles on the board. They could go DB.
Yeah, as far as depth and
Stephon Gilmore is old.
He's old.
I convinced myself already. Yeah, that fast. I already convinced myself about who I was going with. Yeah, the dude I just mentioned earlier, Kamari. Lassiter. I want to say their names right. All right. With the 24. With the 24th overall pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Kamari Lassiter from Georgia. A little bit high, here, but I think it goes for needs. Stephon Gilmore is pretty old. He's pretty old. Also, think wide receiver is a good option. Like that's not like we think the Cowboys not wide receiver, but we actually dive deep into it. I think that's a pretty solid option. That is a pretty solid option for them because they have literally basically only CeeDee Lamb. Brandon Cooks is kind of underwhelming for what we thought he was going to be. Like, oh, they got Brandon Cooks as the wide receiver too. They're about to go crazy, but it was really like just Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb for the entirety of the season. Even Tony Pollard didn't do too great this year. So I saw something they even had to go on running back. But in the first round, it's crazy. But yeah.
First of all, every mock that I see with the Packers is Cooper DeJean right now, and I hope that does not happen. I don't want to have to root against Cooper DeJean. I think right now, probably your position in need, your O-line's always solid, but it's old. So I'm probably looking O-line right here, if not receiver. Your defense is okay. I gotta think that, yeah. I'm thinking more O-line. So that's Amarius Mims, Jordan Morgan, Tyler Guyton. Yeah. With the 25th overall pick, the Green Bay Packers select Amarius Mims out of Georgia. I think you need more O-line help. They're getting old. Everyone on that O-line is getting old. So I think you got to kind of beef that up and help out Jordan Love. Defensively, if anyone drops, I think if a D tackle drops, you look at it. If one of those DBs drops, you compare him next to Jair. But still, I don't think it's like number one issue. I think you go O-line. I think it's a point of need. So I'll go with Amarius Mims.
Okay, I like that pick. They definitely need O-line for sure. Go get tackle. That's probably one of their biggest needs. I like that pick. Marius Mims is from
Georgia.
Georgia. I mean, if I'm mistaken.
Georgia. He keeps the same logo. I didn't even realize that. He keeps the same logo. Keeps that same
He
G.
does. All right, we're here with Tampa Bay. Interesting pick.
Very interesting.
Mike Evans might be leaving.
That's exactly what I was looking at. It's exactly what I was looking at.
But I already know what I'm doing here. They're the edge. With the 26 overall pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go Braylon Trice from Washington. Great value pick. I think he could have went even higher, a lot higher. But I don't think them teams are on the edge, so I think it's a good value pick. Wide receiver could be had in the second round. I still think so. And they might re-sign Mike Evans. He might be a Bucks lifer. Who knows? But he's looking for some big money, so who knows? And outside of that, Chris, they could go wide receiver here because outside of that, it's really scarce. Chris Godwin is still good, but
Sorry, is there drama about Brandon Ayuk in San Fran?
There's drama. There's drama. His wife and best friend.
Yeah, I think I saw the best friend thing. Why he's at BA to Vegas? Why do you want to go to Vegas?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why do you want to go to Vegas?
I don't know what that was about.
Maybe he's from there. He might
be from there.
You took Braylon Trice, correct?
Yes, I did.
Sir. All right. Well, I guess at 31, I could be looking receiver. I don't think you. So I got 27 in Arizona, and again, I think receiver if they don't pick it earlier. Would you go to receivers? I don't know. I think I might look more. If I look defense, I don't know where I'd go. There's a lot of offensive talent on the board right now.
I would go offensive line here.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't know. I think a linebacker would be very helpful, but there's nothing there. Yeah, I'll go with him. With the 27th overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Tyler Guyton. He's honestly getting mocked a lot higher than I thought. He's getting mocked in the first round, I think, in every one of the drafts I looked at. I think you can get O-line help. I think if you can really beef that up, you can put a very competent unit around Kyler Murray next year. So I think you guys can get ready to compete for the second team in that division. It's obviously a good division. Seattle's always going to put out a competent team, and same with the Rams. But I do think that as far as top-end talent, if you can have sign a couple defensive pieces for sure, but if you can build out that O-line, you get a receiver, and you put that around Kyler, I think you could definitely be second-best team in that division. You're muted.
I mean my mic to blow my nose. But anyways, I think the Bills' obvious need here is wide receiver. And there are a few good ones on the board. So with the 28th overall pick, the Bills are going to select Troy Franklin Jr. Not Troy Franklin Jr. I mean, I was confusing with Troy Franklin, not Troy Franklin Jr. I was confusing him with Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, they're going to take Troy Franklin. I think he's the best wide receiver on the board. Was a part of the reason that Oregon was so great in that passing attack. So I wanted him to slip to the Chiefs, but forgot the Bills needed a wide receiver. So
I think this team right here is hoping and praying that any DB falls to 29. I think the Lions will take any DB they can get their hands on. I think it's an easy trade pick. Not crazy. They could go edge, I guess, but I think they have to go DB. It's a very early jump. I think it's the only one on the board right now, though. This is a pick where I think it could be traded unless they really love someone else. Again, the Lions have been weird. We all thought that the pick last year with Jahmyr Gibbs was crazy. Picking him at 12 obviously worked wonders for him. Sam Laporte the same way. They have been drafting insanely well the past couple of years. So can't take that away from them. Hopefully this is the next pick for them. With the 29th overall pick, I will go with TJ Tampa from Iowa State. Very early, I know, but DB is the biggest issue for them unless they go sign someone. You could go edge like Darius Robertson out of Missouri. I will just stick to go with a DB.
I think if they go and sign someone, they want to take them here. I think Ladarius Need is the number one target on their.
That'd be insane. Insane.
Yeah, he's the number one target for them, and they had the money to do it. I think he'll probably be on the Lions next year. I don't think the Chiefs are gonna be able to retain him. Sadly, honestly, I can see the Ravens going wide receiver here. Like literally.
Zay look good. Zay look really good this year, but Odell did not. I think you need someone else.
So, I definitely think they go wide receiver here, or maybe like a defensive lineman. So what was that 30th pick? With the 30th overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens select Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, good pick. I'm mad. I think with 31, I was gonna go Jordan Morgan. I think you need more O-line help for sure, especially with the injuries they had this year. But if this thing with Ayuk is real, do you think about going with receiver?
No, I don't. They need corner help badly. That's really O-line.
I'm not taking a shot on a corner. So
yeah.
I think you have to think about the receiver position if Brandon Ayuk is leaving. Juwan Jennings played great in the Super Bowl. Debo's still there, obviously. You still have CMC. You could sign someone. Like I think you could get you could bring a mid-level guy, and you could sign him. And I think they could work wonders in a San Fran offense. But with the 31st overall pick, the San Francisco 49ers select Jordan Morgan.
Yeah, I like that pick. I think they definitely need to go tackle here. Offensive line was one of their downfalls clearly in the Super Bowl. They got a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy, and he wasn't very good under pressure, even especially with interior pressure. And he's been so good with that all season. The offensive line is carried by Trent Williams heavily, and I'm glad I get the 32nd pick with the Chiefs. I might go Lab McConkey here, man. He was cooking. What was it? I think the Senior Bowl.
Senior Bowl.
Hey man, his routes are crisp. He's a great route runner. So that kind of makes me want to. I think he's gonna create a lot of separation. And I don't know if I think Keon Coleman is a wide receiver 1 in this league.
Please,
because you like Keon because he went to Michigan State, but you watched him, he did not create separation a lot last year at all. He's bad.
Like, you could just go over the eye test. Have you seen the catches he made at Florida State?
I did.
Just go for the eye test. Disgusting. And if you have Pat Mahomes throwing the balls, you could throw them anywhere, and Keon's gonna come down with them. I get the separation aspect, but Pat Mahomes can put the ball wherever he wants, and Keon Coleman just needs the hands to get it, and he does.
Bro had 658 yards. It's crazy. His production was not great at all. Touchdowns. He had 11 touchdowns. Yeah, pretty good.
Your starting quarterback though is also out for the last 4 or 5 games of the season too. But
yeah, that's true. All right, with the 32nd overall pick and the last pick in the draft or the first round, I'm going to take Keon Coleman. I think he has the makings of he could have went a lot higher. It's his production, separation wasn't good, but physically his physical traits are amazing. He's big, strong, fast. So I'm going to draft Keon Coleman with the 32nd overall pick, and that's going to do it for our mock draft. I think it was pretty good. I think we did a decent job with this draft. I have to go to class in like 15 minutes, so we got to get out of here. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast, like the video, and follow our social media up at the top. We got big announcements coming soon. A lot of changes coming soon, so be in tune for that. Make sure you follow us so you don't miss anything, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything as well. Thank you guys for watching. We are out.
See you guys.